And welcome to the Frenzy. Listen, it's the first weekend in December. If you're still playing high school football, you and your team are indeed one of the best in the state of Georgia. Final Four time in the Georgia High School Association, and still several squads from our neck of the woods in the hunt for state titles. The Frenzy crew all over the place for the semifinals Friday night, including right here in Savannah, where the Benedictine Cadets were hosting a Quad A semifinal against a team they've already faced once this season. Cadets hosting North Oconee out at Memorial Stadium. BC beating the same team 48-17 back in September. This one much closer. Cadets grabbing the early lead. Holden Gerner out to Zaquan Bryan, who makes the catch. Nobody going to catch him. Touchdown. BC on top 7-0. But North Oconee going to answer. Game tied later in the first quarter when the visitors grabbed the lead on the touchdown pass out to Khalil Barnes. It was 14-7 Titans. Benedictine responds, and it's that Gerner to Bryan combo again. The two hooking up for the second time in the first half. The second quarter score knocks the game at 14. Couple minutes later, Cadets recapture the lead. Cam Edge getting the call. Hole opens, Edge into the open field, coming this way for the touchdown. Benedictine back on top. It was 21-17 at the half. Danny Britt looking for his defense to step up, and they do to start the second half. Matt Cromenhawk, he's got the tackle for loss right here. Moments later, it's Cole Simeon. He's wreaking some havoc in the backfield. Simeon going to register the sack. But I tell you what, North Oconee continues to battle. They would take a second half lead on this touchdown pass from Max Wilson to Brooks Thompson. Yeah, the Cadets, they were in a battle. Benedictine, though, with plenty of weapons to turn to in this one. Gerner throwing for Edge. Edge going to make the grab, and he gets in for his second touchdown of the game. Cadets back on top. Couple minutes later, the always dangerous Justin Thomas. He's getting a call. How about this run? Breaking tackles. Going to pull away and take it to the house. Benedictine going to play for a state title. Cadets, they beat North Oconee by 10, 42-32.
Extremely excited, so proud of these kids. They kept working. I would say I never doubted these guys. I feel really strong about them, but it was sketchy there for a minute, but very proud of them. We pulled it through.
Now Benedictine will face Carver of Columbus in the Quad A championship game. That one's coming up next Friday at 3:30 at the old Turner Field up in Atlanta. Cadets, they weren't the only team looking to punch their ticket to Atlanta. The Metter Tigers hosting Brooks County in the Single A Public semifinals. Our Dave Williams has a recap of that one.
Well, Frank, the Metter Tigers find themselves in the exact same spot they were a year ago with a perfect 13-0 record and hosting a state semifinal playoff game. However, they're hoping the similarities end there because they lost that particular contest. Tonight, they're hosting Brooks County, and a victory would punch their ticket to the Single A Public State Championship game next week. And many thought the Trojans for Brooks County would provide the toughest test of the year for the Tigers, and truer words have never been spoken as Brooks County strikes on the very first play from scrimmage as Amari Arnold takes the handoff, breaks one tackle, and he's off to the Happing hunting ground for the touchdown. The PAT no good, 6-0 Brooks County. Then the next time the Trojans touch the ball, the same result. Once again, it's Amari Arnold busting up the middle, virtually untouched, to the payoff pasture. That's another 70-plus yard TD run and a 12-0 lead. That lead would go to 14-0 when Jamal Sanders converts the two-point try, and Metter was in stunned disbelief. There would be even more disbelief to come with Metter driving. They fumble, and Lawrence Hosendorf scoops it up, and no one is going to catch him. He's touchdown bound, and the undefeated Tigers found themselves facing a 21-0 deficit before the first quarter was even over. More of the same in the second quarter as Brooks County goes to work again. Quarterback Jamal Sanders airing it out deep to Jamarian Fountain, and the Trojans were on the move again. Then they cap off the drive on 4th and 13. Sanders throws the perfect strike to Willie Brown for yet another Brooks County touchdown as they go up 28-0. They would go on to win 49-7 as Metter comes up one game short of the state championship game for a second straight season. In Metter, Dave Williams, WJCL 22 News.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. Well, the Appling County Pirates hitting the road in the AAA semifinals. Appling up near Atlanta to face Cedar Grove. Our Amy Zimmer was there, and she's got those highlights.
Thanks, Frank. Here in Atlanta, the Appling County Pirates are into the state semifinals for the first time since 2011. A win over the Cedar Grove Saints will punch the Pirates tickets to the state championship for the first time in program history. Appling County looking to keep their magical playoff run alive by handing Cedar Grove their first home loss of the year to advance. First half, a defensive battle. Saints quarterback Jamar Graham can't find an option. Pirates Jose Martinez takes him down for the big quarterback sack. It was 6-3 Cedar Grove at the break. Saints soaring at the start of the third quarter. Graham changes it up, goes through the air. Trayvon Farrell makes the huge catch. Cedar Grove needs just 4 plays on the drive to score. Graham with the rocket to Farrell in the end zone. Cedar Grove takes a 13-3 lead. Staying in the third, Pirates Taylon Crosby on the keeper, cuts his way through traffic for a nice gain. Pirates get into the red zone, however, have to settle for a field goal. Appling County cut Cedar Grove's lead to 13-6. Fourth quarter, Pirates fighting back. Jarvis Mims gets around the edge for the big takedown and a loss of yards. However, Saints showcasing why they've been crowned Class 3A champs 3 of the past 5 seasons. The team adds 2 more scores in the second half to take a 27-6 lead, and that would be the final. Cedar Grove keeps Appling County out of the end zone to advance, ending the Pirates' historic playoff run. Reporting from Atlanta, Amy Zimmer, WJCL 22 News.
All right, thanks so much, Amy. Pierce County also falls in the AAA Final Four. Bears, they are edged by Carver of Atlanta, 19-17, the final in that one. Well, so far, just Benedictine winning in the state semifinals. Metter, Appling County, Pierce County, they see their seasons come to an end. How about Swainsboro? The Tigers at home for a AA semifinal contest against Fitzgerald. Rick Snow, he's got those highlights.
The Swainsboro Tigers began the season splitting their first 4 games, but since then they've won 9 straight, riding that winning streak into the semifinals of the GHSA AA state playoffs. Tonight, the Tigers face Fitzgerald, a perennial power in the state of Georgia, for the right to go on to the state championship in Atlanta next week. The Tigers received the opening kickoff, but the Purple Hurricane defense came to play, stopping Swainsboro with a 3-and-out and forcing a punt. Fitzgerald had a 7-0 lead in the first quarter when Jacorian Pauk gets the handoff and finds open spaces as he takes it 58 yards down to the 12-yard line to set up the Hurricanes to score again. Denoris Goodwin would do the rest, and Fitzgerald was leading 14-0. Early in the second quarter, Goodwin takes the snap and plows his way up the middle to make it 20-0 Fitzgerald. But on the first play after the kickoff, the Tigers get an explosive play. Kendarius Brown finds a hole. He's gone, taking it 61 yards to the house to cut the lead to 20-6 at the half. But it wasn't enough as Fitzgerald goes on to a 27-6 win, ending the Swainsboro season with an impressive 11-3 record. Rick Snow, WJCL 22 News.
Well, still to come on another playoff edition of the Frenzy, we'll head to Middle Georgia, where the Pinewood Patriots were playing in the state championship game Friday night. We've got those highlights coming up. Stick around. And welcome back to the Frenzy. While GHSA teams were playing for spots in next week's state championship games, Pinewood Christian was playing for a GISA title Friday night. The boys from Belleville in Middle Georgia to face powerful John Millage in the AAA finale. The undefeated defending state champs of John Millage, well, they're going to take an early 7-0 lead in this one. Balin Zielinski from 11 yards out going to give the Trojans the early lead in this one, and it's a lead they would never relinquish. Later in the first quarter, Zielinski again going to get the ball, and he goes into the end zone to make it 14-0. The Pinewood defense, they are going to buckle down. Preston Lowe, he's going to come through with the sack for the Patriots. More from the Pinewood defense. Boys from Belleville forcing the turnover. The catch going to be made, but Mick Wasson going to strip the ball loose. However, Pinewood unable to get on the board. Pinewood, they fall short in the state championship game. John Millage, they're going to win this one 21-0, the final. Thursday night, the Buford High Eagles playing in the South Carolina State Championship game. They would fall to South Point in this one. It was all South Point, 41-7, the final in that one. Good night, everyone.